The next stop on our whirlwind Mediterranean tour is the archaeological site of Ephesus. Our first stop is the House of the Virgin Mary, which is located on a hilltop overlooking Ephesus. The Apostle John, who wrote the fourth Gospel and the book of Revelation, was from Ephesus. At the crucifixion, Jesus commended the care of his mother to St. John. When Christianity was outlawed in the Holy Land, John fled to Ephesus and took the Virgin Mary with him. This is the place where Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, may have spent her last days. It is a beautiful and serene place located in a lush green grove. Built entirely of stone, the House of the Virgin Mary is an example of typical Roman architecture. The original two-story house fell into ruin and was restored in the 1940s using the original building materials found at the site. After a short bus ride down the side of the mountain, which offers a spectacular view, we arrived at the entrance to the archaeological site of Ephesus. Now, as you can see here, Ephesus has not been entirely excavated. Only about 15% of the city has been exposed. The rest still lies hidden underground, waiting to be discovered. Although modern Ephesus is located in a very fertile valley miles from the sea, the ancient city of Ephesus was actually established as a seaport. The first stop along our walk was the ancient amphitheater, an impressive structure that played host to major social events. By the time of Christ, Ephesus was a major city and part of the vast Roman Empire. In 33 BC, Mark Antony and his wife, the legendary Egyptian queen Cleopatra, spent the winter in Ephesus and organized their campaign against Octavian, who later became Emperor Augustus. Ephesus had thriving pagan and Jewish communities, but it also played a significant role in early Christianity. The prestige of Ephesus increased with the arrival of St. Paul for the spreading of Christianity to the Ephesians. The Apostle Luke, St. John, and the Virgin Mary also visited Ephesus. The city was sacked by the Goths and hit by a major earthquake in the 3rd century AD. After the earthquake of 614 AD partially destroyed the city again, Ephesus slid further into decline. The harbor filled with silt and became inaccessible to the Aegean Sea, which diminished the city's value as a port. This decline was further hastened by successive Arab raids over the next century, and so the city was lost. When walking through the archaeological site of Ephesus, you are struck by the presence of cats. They're everywhere. Though they are wild, these cats show no fear to the human intruders. They live off visitor handouts and the plentiful rodents that live in the surrounding fields. The most striking feature of Ephesus is the Library of Celsius. This library is one of the most beautiful structures in the city. It was built in 117 AD. The grave of Celsius was beneath the ground floor, across the entrance, and there was a statue of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, over it. The library had a capacity for more than 12,000 scrolls, making it the 3rd richest library of the time, after only Alexandria and Pergamon. Constructed entirely of white marble, the statues in the niches of the columns today are copies of the originals. The statues symbolize the virtues of Celsius: wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, and valor. The library was restored with the aid of the Austrian Archaeological Institute, and the originals of those 4 statues were taken to the Ephesus Museum in Vienna in 1910. A short walk through the arched entrance, and you are standing on the marble road, which runs from the library through the Grand Market to the Great Theater. The best way to appreciate Ephesus is to visit there, to walk the streets that were trod by Mark Antony and Cleopatra, or the Apostles and the Virgin Mary. Visit Ephesus and experience it for yourself. You will be amazed at what you see and what you will feel when you experience it firsthand.